Hello YouTube, Salivate Metal here. Is the system designed to fail? That's the question being asked in this video. And I have some theories or some questions regarding that using the Affordable Care Act as a launching point. It was released very recently that the premiums will soar in 2017 with an average of 22% for individuals across the United States. Some states showing a 116% increase, and with 1.4 million Americans essentially kicked off their plans, and major players such as United Health Group and Aetna withdrew from most states. It's almost as becoming seems like a failure. But was that by design? Well, yes, it was. It was by design. If you paid attention to the primary election in 2008, the debates between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were discussing that and single payer options. And if you ask Max Baucus, who authored the legislation in part, as well as Jonathan Gruber, who was found out that he was the designer of most of the regulations in this plan and bragged about fooling the American people, the stupid American people, into being duped by the empty promises that Barack Obama used to campaign for this act. But you have to go back a little further than that, back into the 20s when the progressive liberals were aching for this program for so long, because it provides, once you control the health care of a nation, you essentially control its people. And essentially that's kind of where things are with many European countries. And some of my friends from across the pond may be able to chime in on what your feeling is with universal health care, and Canadians as well. So there's that. And so the whole idea is that this was designed to fail so that we could lead to a single payer, government controlled, socialized medicine. And so with that being said, what about the monetary system? It seems like every central bank from around the world are increasing their spending or increasing their currency supplies, quantitative easing, buying up bonds and the like. And is this by design? Are they all in collusion with each other to do this, to fail? Because it seems like it's not working. The economy is still struggling. It's barely afloat here in the U.S., but arguably the quantitative easing that's occurred in this country has shown a bit more promise than it has in other countries. And here we can see a chart showing monthly asset purchases by major central banks around the world, the UK, the US, Japan, the Eurozone. So it's quite interesting to see these. Here's the quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3 here in the US, and a huge increase here in the United States. And now we're seeing the Eurozone. Japan, so of course, continuing here to print like it's going out of style here. So what can you read from this when all the major players are printing so much money? And of course, you'll see the BRICS nations are not in this because I think they have a slightly different mindset than the rest of us here in the West. And Japan can sort of be included in that, is how they do things. But of course, I'm sure a lot of data from China and Russia are not are quite as accessible or easy to translate. So with that being said, is this purposeful? Well, my feeling is that it's not. I think that essentially they're doing it with the cushion of, well, if we get ourselves in trouble, we'll all just come together in the global community and find a new solution, find a new standard for the money supply around the world. And I think that will be the time when you have a reset, a currency reset, and there will be one centralized basis for all currencies, whether or not be the pound, the dollar, the yen, or the euro. I think that they will all be based off of some common denominator, whatever that may be. Who knows? They may even call it gold, just to make everybody feel better. But will it really be? It'll be based in one central location. Let's say the UN. Let's say it's the IMF or the World Bank, and that they control it, the breadbasket of currencies, under their one um, sort of fiat designation. So instead of the fiat designations being in the US or Japan, it's going to be in the UN or the IMF, and they will be the fiat designator. I think that these banks are doing, or these central banks are doing that, knowing that if they get themselves in trouble, everybody else is too, so we'll do what everyone else is doing, and we'll all be in trouble together, and then we'll have a new currency reset. So that is the question of the day. Is the system designed to fail based off of Obamacare? I think in some ways they feel like they can do it, and because they'll always have the fallback that they'll all get together and create this new currency reset. So post your thoughts below. I'd like to extend the multitude of gratitude y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.